Hello there, and welcome to episode 2 of Metal Gear Solid 3. My name is Winter. What's yours? So we're picking up exactly where we left off at the tail end of the first episode, and we're going to kick off with a short little cutscene right here, if I remember correctly, which is why I cut it off where I did in the last one. Yes, here we go. This is going to be a fairly cutscene heavy episode as well. Fair warning. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. Security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Codec? Codec.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. And do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that
Oh,
when
there's
you get
always
to
more.
Sokolov, I want you to tell him something.
There's
from
never
me.
enough.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
So before we get going here, let's give the boss a call and see what she's got to say about the situation, because I'm actually genuinely curious, because there's very few times that I've actually tried to call her. Oh, no response. Already. Okay, well maybe I should have tried to call her in the last episode. Let's do this shit. Right in the sweet cheeks. Oh my goodness, I can't see where I'm going. The first person kind of fucks you up every now and then. Oh, I heard him go down. Okay. I think there's another one somewhere around here. Maybe that was the only one. It must have been. And yeah, there's one up there. See him? I'm gonna shoot him in the sweet cheeks too. Got him. Now you just gotta wait.
Just my imagination.
Oh shit!
What's wrong?
There we are. Yeah, watch your aiming. If you hit the environment behind the guards, that'll trigger an alert too, as you just saw. Or a caution, which is pretty much one and the same in this game. And now we have more cutscenes. I did warn you, did I not? I did. There's actually going to be very, very, very little gameplay in this episode. And again, that's probably going to happen from time to time throughout the series. The only thing I can try to do is minimize it. You know, I think an episode with nothing but cutscenes would just be kind of boring.
Are you one of Volgin's men?
And this is going to be borderline, I'm sure,
Never
but
get it from me.
No.
I would watch it,
CIA agent.
you know.
I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
That's the way I always approach my series is, well, would I watch it? And if I would,
Sent by Major
then I do it.
the
And if I
man
wouldn't, then I
10
don't.
years ago.
Zero.
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It
Means he's
means
sorry for
he's a
being
man
late.
of his
It's pretty
word.
self-explanatory, really. Do you need to go in depth on it?
But we've got no time for this.
But he likes to know. He's very, Very curious man, this snake.
They.
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
Always about the nukes, isn't it? Always about the nukes.
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come, I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
You know, you never hear anybody trying to steal
Your Russian is superb.
a walking bipedal tank that's capable of launching water balloons across continents. You never hear about that. It's always nukes.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
And you can't tell me that those haven't been in development since the 50s or 60s. In fact, I have it on good authority that Norway is currently working on one as we speak. So that's something to look
Major,
out for.
This is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake.
Allegedly, it
Now
can
hurry
shoot
up
a
and
water
get
balloon
Sokolov
that
to
weighs
recovery
500 pounds
point.
all the way to
Rendezvous with you
Japan.
then.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way.
You gotta watch
No
them
one will
Norwegians,
know
man.
we
They're
were
they're
involved.
sneaky.
I see.
What
They
about
like to
the
come
boss?
off as
We lost
peaceful and
contact with
quiet
the
and
boss some
whatnot,
time
but
ago.
What happened?
they'll launch a water balloon on your
Probably
ass
just
when
a
you
weak
ain't looking.
signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
No, they probably won't. I have nothing against anybody in Norway. I think it's a beautiful country, actually. I'd love to go there sometime. Especially since I'm a heavy metal fan, and they have a lot of the, well, it was the birthplace of black metal, essentially, so I'd love to go over there and go record shopping sometime. Get me some vinyls and some hard to find demo CDs from back in the day. Of course, fantastic architecture in Norway as well. That's another thing I'd like to check out. Sokolov doing his jujitsu, his kami-kami-ha. Never pegged him for a DBZ fan, but, they come in all shapes and sizes. You just can't tell by looking at a person what they're into. I'm digging his jacket, though. I've always wanted a waistcoat like that. It's hard to find those in my size. I'm a little guy, so hard to find clothes like that look cool and fit proper.
This is the legendary boss.
Here we go. Here's a guy to watch. Always entertaining when he's on screen.
We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. What's a Gru soldier doing here?
Soldier?
I think he's gonna do the cat thing. Is this the cat thing? Come on, dude, do the cat thing.
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ah, no cat
Major
thing.
Ocelot to you.
Is this it?
Don't you forget it.
Ah. Come on, dude, do the cat thing.
Sokolov is ours. Get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
Here's the cat thing. Right? Oh, nope. Action. Oh! Eye of the hawk. Reflexes of the cobra. Name of the cat. Meow. No mercy shown and no fucks given. Ocelot. Master of the bouncing bullet. Come on, dude, do the cat thing. I know he does it. If you've played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Comrade, even if it is for the Gru.
Sokolov, take cover.
I think he kind of was. Is this it? Come on, let me hear it.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
Is this it? Yes! Ah, there's the cat thing.
Operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Ban-da-da-da-da.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
What do they call that? A Mexican standoff? Is that what it is? I just noticed the tranquilizer dart in that guy's arm. That's fantastic. I never saw that before. I knew he shot him. I just, for some reason, always thought it was a regular gun, which, yeah, it doesn't make sense because all we're equipped with at this point is the trank. But, of course, pay attention to the bullet here. That's going to come into play much later on. That's a detail I never noticed or paid attention to until probably my 7th playthrough.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you?
This is probably number
I see what
17
you're
for me.
trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. you tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
He's pissed off about that. Don't call me pretty good, call me the best, you motherfucker. Oh, he's a great character, and this is my favorite incarnation of him. You know, he's always memorable until Metal Gear Solid 5, but for some reason, I like him best here. I don't know why, he's just so young and arrogant.
Do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys
Like we all were at that
too.
age.
Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan,
A GRU colonel?
part of an internal Soviet power
And I can say
struggle
that because I'm sure at this
Sokolov.
point he's younger
Something
than I
between
am,
KGB
so
and GRU, between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded
maybe
by
y'all
the
can
KGB
too, I don't
and
know.
hunted by
How old
GRU.
is everybody out there?
Snake, it sounds like
What kind
this
of
could
audience
even
do I
be
have
confusing.
exactly?
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
And who is your
I
daddy
agree.
and what
You
does he
better hurry.
do?
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
And don't forget it's a stealth mission, so don't get seen by anybody. And the enemy may be listening in, so let's go ahead and talk about everything that we're going to do for the next few hours over the open airwaves. So I guess, since just to kind of, well, I hate to say fill time, but one thing that's kind of worth mentioning, you probably saw in the first episode, I hit a button and kind of changed the camera angle. This game was actually released twice on the PlayStation 2. And the first release, which was just called, you know, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, had your traditional Metal Gear Solid camera, isometric, you know, over-the-top view. And it didn't work for some reason in this game. I've played it that way, and it was actually, yeah, it's pretty tricky and can potentially be very frustrating. So when it was re-released again a couple years later, it was known as, was it Sustenance? It's either Subsistence or Sustenance. I think it was Sustenance. But it had the traditional third-person camera, which you can swing around freely, like I'm doing now, and gives you a better view of the area you're in, and a better chance to see enemies and shit like that. But the beauty of Subsistence, or Sustenance, whichever it is that you can hit the R3 button, and it'll set the camera to your traditional Metal Gear mode, which is what we're looking at now. I don't like to play this game that way. I much prefer the Subsistence version, or Substance, or whatever it was called, camera view. Of course, dragging bodies, I'm serving a purpose here. He's going to drop something. What did he drop? He dropped a mousetrap. So we can pick this up, and we will set that down here in a little bit. When it comes to the body drops and shit like that, in Metal Gear Solid 2, you had to drag the bodies of enemies sometimes quite a ways, like I'm doing now, to get them to drop items. And in Metal Gear Solid 3, that was also fixed to where you just have to pick them up and then set them back down. Much like I did with Ocelot. This guy does not have anything. Ocelot, at this point, is the only person who will drop anything. But we've got this mousetrap, so let's go into our backpack here and get that equipped. And we will set that, because we are going to be revisiting this area. And when we come back to this area, we can pick up the mousetrap and essentially use it again. So there we go. Mousetrap is set. I think the snake's going to make a beeline for it. Yeah, look at that. So here's the mousetrap in action. Oh, got him. Of course, mousetraps are going to be essential for catching the Tsuchinoko later on, so we'll definitely want as many of those as we can get. Anyways, not much else to say. Well, yeah, actually, there is one thing. So you saw Sokolov mention something about, Snake's Russian is impeccable. One thing that I like about this game is that everybody is speaking Russian, and it's just been automatically translated. And of course, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, would sort of rectify it. I don't know if it made it better or made it worse. It probably just depends on what you like from your Metal Gear games. But, you had to actually capture interpreters and recruit them to your mother base if you wanted to understand what the enemy troops are saying. We don't need to do that in this game. Snake speaks fluent Russian, which is one of the many, many giveaways to the plot twist of Metal Gear Solid 5. But that is a very long discussion for another series entirely. I'm sorry, let me learn how to speak again real quick. Of course, I've already covered Ground Zeroes in a series. Did most of that game. At some point, I would like to do
Okay. Those men were from the
all of
Ocelot
them.
unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer.
But I don't know when.
They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look,
Much like Dead Space and Tomb Raider, I would love to do every Metal Gear that I have, which is pretty much every single one that's been released for PlayStation.
Bill.
yes, the Shagohod, the treading behemoth, a tank capable of launching nuclear IRBM.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh yes, and without
What about
support
water
from
balloons?
friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
I like the design of the Shagohod. I like that it's actually something different from
No,
Rex
this
and
is
Ray.
only the end of phase 1.
It
will
looks
be
like it could
phase
actually
2.
function. You know what I mean? It looks real.
Phase 2.
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold
But I think it
War.
still makes dinosaur sounds for some reason.
And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
World War.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Again, cutscene heavy. You were warned. The next 15 minutes is most likely going to be cutscenes. And in fact, there's going to be no more gameplay in this episode, so if you're turned off by that, then by all means, I won't hold it against you if you stop watching at this point and move on to something else. That's perfectly fine and understandable. I get it. But if you're actually interested in the series and want to know what's going on with the story, then I do encourage you to keep watching, because this is pretty much the setup for the rest of the game. Who's this? Nice boots. Hey, look who it is. We got backup. We're golden now.
Boss.
I like that bridge. I'd like to see one of those and actually walk
Good
across
work.
one.
Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
What's going on? Oh no. Oh, bees. I'm allergic. Keep them away. I really am allergic, so this kind of freaked me out a little bit the first time I saw it. Something like a nightmare, you know what I mean? I like how they're sticking to the camera there. That's a nice touch. Oh, there we go. Just had to wait for it to load.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more.
I'm sorry.
Now
That fucking guy.
It's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood.
From a lacerated sky?
Is he crying?
No, it's bleeding its horror. Now it shall rain in blood. Ah, this guy. What a bastard.
Kuwabara.
Fun fact, Kuwabara actually means bless me. It's a good luck saying. I looked it up. That's absolutely true.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
480 volts of sheer terror.
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Ooh. One swipe. And see, feminists never mention her when they talk about weak female video gaming characters. Oh! I mean, fuck's sake, look at her. She's badass, dude. But they never talk about her.
My face.
They just talk about, oh, Lara Croft is too sexy.
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
Still a level of trust there. Just shows they've definitely got a deep history. Was it physical or was it friendship? Well, I don't know. I think there was a little bit of physicality involved at one point. Probably more likely most of that as she was training him, but still physical nonetheless. Bam, ba-da-da-da. soda spill.
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
I like the boss.
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Damn good character for sure. Knows how to be fashionable as well. By that I mean the gloves. I think those are badass. And you can actually buy those nowadays. I'd never heard of them before I played this game, but now you go to a fucking hardware store or something like that, and they actually sell PPE that is like that. Which I've actually found to be quite practical, because in the wintertime you don't want to take your gloves off just so you can tighten a little fucking nut. You know what I mean? You still need your fingertips to grab onto it firmly so that you can hold it in place. So they serve a purpose besides looking fucking cool. Of course, the ones I have aren't leather like that. They're a Dynama or Dynamo. I don't recall the brand name. I think it's Dyneema. Fairly good PPE though. About $5 a pair.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it.
So here's our obligatory "you're fucking hurt and here's how you make yourself better" tutorial.
Think you can handle it?
Major.
Because you gotta have those.
She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Well, she just explained it fairly lengthy. So let's go ahead and take a look at our surroundings first. Yeah, no enemies anywhere. There's your traditional Metal Gear camera. Yeah, not a fan of that. Alright, let's do this shit. The cure option is now available. And this is another little menu that will break up gameplay. Look at his ribs right there. See in the x-ray, he's got some fractures there. It's a nice little touch. I never noticed that before. Of course, clinical records shows all the injuries that we have sustained up to the point in time that we're looking at them. Food history, again, all meals that we've eaten up to this point. So that's a nice little touch. Alright, let's heal some shit. What am I working on? A cut. So for that we need stitches, bandage, styptic, and disinfect. And it's gone. Rinse, wash, and repeat. And broken bone is bandage, splint, and that's it. And of course these recovery items that I'm using we're going to pick up as we go throughout the game. In fact, one of them, where is it? The ointment. This is actually what we got from the beehive in the last episode. So every plant that you see will give you a healing item of some kind. Alright, are you all ready for the next cutscene? Here we go. I warned you. Don't worry, it's almost over. Ouch. I can't even imagine having to do that. I probably wouldn't have the guts for it, to be honest with you. I have a low pain tolerance. Myself and pain, we just don't get along at all. So I try to avoid that kind of stuff whenever I can. What's he got? The boss's bandana.
Good job, Snake.
Thank you.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Of course, the Fulton we don't actually use in this game. That doesn't actually come into play until Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Oh, I barely caught a glimpse of the corpse. Sorry, I set the controller down so I could get a drink. I was hoping to show that off. Yeah, there's the Shagohod. This is the Metal Gear we're going to be going up against in this series. And again, I like the fact that it's so different from Rex and Ray. And looks like something that could exist today. Rex and Ray probably could too, but for some reason I believe the Shagohod more than I believe Rex and Ray. Well, there's not really a whole lot for me to say at this point, so I'm gonna stop with the commentary until the end of the cutscene. So I'll be back here in a couple of minutes.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
That's a big boom. Winter likes a big boom. Oh my goodness. The controller's vibrating out of control. I forgot that happened. It's a good use of the DualShock controller. A lot of vibrations in this game, actually. Which, you know, as a male, don't really do anything for me, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge if you're female. And don't think of me like that. There's fucking games that were made specifically for that reason. So there we go. The end of episode 2. As you can see, Volgan is quite the bastard. And just generally does not give a shit. And is a fantastic villain. And I really like him. And he's only going to get more despicable as we move along. But for now, seeing as how we're just over the 40-minute mark, I think we'll go ahead and call this an episode. And pick up with the beginning of Operation Snake Eater in episode 3. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. My name has been Winter, and I'll see you back here in the next episode. Everybody take care out there.